I want to bring in Judge Andrew Napolitano, our senior judicial analyst and law guy, because I'm curious on a lot of levels. There's the political part of the Alabama story,
right?
But there's a constitutional part of this. If he gets elected, how do they get rid of him if they don't want him in?
Okay, if he's elected, they must seat him. They can't refuse to seat him. If they refuse to seat him because of these allegations, they're basically adding another qualification to becoming a senator, which the Constitution doesn't set forth.
Yeah, that's not in there.
Correct. If they do seat him, they can only expel him for something he has done while he's a sitting senator. There has simply no one ever been expelled from either house of Congress for something they did before they were in the Congress. So they would be stuck with him, to use the language of the streets. They really have to decide now whether or not they want to have a senator that no one will shake hands with because of the allegation against him, or a Democrat who the last polls show is now leading in the race.
What if they run a write-in candidate against him?
Okay, the write-in candidate, Alabama permits write-ins. You have to correctly spell the first name and the last name.
Yes, you do. Which is?
Jefferson Sessions.
Yeah, that's hard, isn't it?
Not Jeff, it's Jefferson Sessions.
Yep.
Or Luther Strange. I think there is no appetite for that. Listening to and reading emails from the chair of the Alabama Republican Party, they seem to fear, and they're on the ground there, that a write-in vote would split the Republican vote and let the Senate and let the Democrat waltz right in.
Well, you know, I've been reading up. You know, one of the things we've written that everybody's learned, as a Mississippian, I already knew it.
Right.
But you might have thought they're Alabamans, right? They're Alabamians. They add an I in there, so you've learned that. If nothing else, you know what to call them.
And they emphasize that I.
The Alabamians, that's right. And after the Iron Bowl's over, we can get back to something normal on many levels. But this is a big deal. Down there, we've seen these polls that he's gone up in popularity since this scandal broke.
Yes.
But there's a brand new Politico poll that is out as of the top of the hour. It's about like 28 minutes or so. This is from Politico. It's an NRSC poll. And it says Republican Roy Moore is trailing the Democrat Doug Jones by 12 points.
That is the first time I have seen that, and that's significant, that number.
12 points. Jones, the Democrat, leads Moore 51 to 39%. You have to consider President Trump won Alabama by, what,
28
points.
Yes.
There hasn't been a Democrat elected in Alabama since a Democrat was a different thing than it is now.
Agreed and understood.
And the idea that a Democrat would win in Alabama, that means in the big city, Birmingham, you've got African Americans coming out, you've got women. This would be astounding and really could shift the political balance in the nation.
Well, it brings the balance in the Senate to 51 to 49.
Yeah.
Right now, it's 52 to 48. And two of the Democrats aren't even Democrats, they're independents.
Right, but they caucus with them.
Bernie Sanders and Angus King, right?
Yep.
It's as razor thin as it could possibly be, Shep.
So if you're the president, like, we know Mitch McConnell doesn't want him to run.
Right.
We haven't heard from the president, but I presume we will hear from him shortly.
I think you're going to hear from him in a couple of minutes on this. I don't know how he can avoid answering it. And here's their dilemma. The Republican Party nationally believes, I think rightly so, it has problems with the votes of married women. So do they want to address this issue and live with a Democrat, or they want to look the other way and let Roy Moore get in? There's no clear thinking about which way they want to go on this, and there's no legal avenue for them to stop him. It is too late.